Okay, third time's the charm on this one. So there's a new update to the Homeworld toolkit for Blender, the Homeworld Remastered toolkit for Blender. And I'm just going to do a quick rundown of what's new and different and awesome about this new update. It's a quality of life update. It's not really a big, like, huge new feature addition change, but it's still, it's got some good stuff in it, and I think everybody will hopefully find it pretty useful. So, to start with, you can see that there is this new button right here. You see it? It's called Fixed Names, and I'm going to show you how it works just in just a second. So I've got this kind of default dumb ship made, so I'm going to do the convert to ship as per usual, and then I'm going to give it an engine real quick. A little bit further out, because this is just going to be a nope. It's just going to be a scout replacement like I usually do. I'm actually going to turn on AO shading there, so that you can see that sort of offset a bit. Alright, and select all those. Apply scale. Okay, doesn't really do anything. Okay. So now I'm going to do some weapons real quick, or a weapon real quick, and that's going to show off the fixed names button. So, as per usual, do weapon, name gun, click weapon, and bang, there is the weapon empty group. And I changed up the spacing for the empties for all of the hardpoint types, because I felt like the offset of one set an unrealistic expectation for how big the ships actually are when going from Blender into Homeworld, and so I offset those off by 10 by now. So how does fixed names work? So I've created a weapon, and if I want more weapons, you can move the 3D cursor around and hit, change the number on weapon and hit weapon and turret and stuff like you do. Or you can do, like I said way back when I did the initial crash course, you can select your weapon and all of its children, set your 3D cursor at the center, set your 3D cursor for your pivot point, shift duplicate your weapon, scale X, -1, enter. I'm going to set you back to median point, and then you're good. And then but now you've got the weapon. You have to go one by one and rename all of these subjoints. Now with fixed names, you don't have to do that. You just hit fixed names, and it fixes all the names. So that it is differentiated. But the thing that is great about fixed names is that it doesn't just. It's more. Train of thought. It goes through the entire list of objects to fix the name, so you don't have to do it every time you duplicate an object. So, like, I could grab both of these, shift duplicate, move them up on Z, and then hit fix names, and now we've got gun 3, gun 0, gun 1, gun 2, gun 3, and that's all fixed. Or if I wanted to, I could name you, upper gun, name this one upper gun 1, 0, and hit fix names, and it would automatically fix all of the children of that one. And so that's really handy especially if you're doing like turret setups, because then you don't have to worry about, because you can do your turrets as like you can build one turret and then just copy that whole turret with its geometry and everything and move that around and rotate it and hit fixed names, and it'll do all the naming for you, and it's pretty great. So the other quality of life change is the dock paths now, they draw. Are now using the sphere as the empty display type instead of the plane axis, which is what everything else uses. And why I made this change, and you can see in the custom properties, tolerance is no longer here in the custom properties. And that's because now the tolerance for the dock path point comes from the sphere size. So that'll can give you a really good sort of visual representation of the scale of the ship that things are docking to versus, the ships that you want to dock, and how close they have to be to these points before they're going to start moving on to the next point. And so you can sort of step down your sizes in those, and that's pretty handy. And both the fixed names and this sphere dock thing were done. These are suggestions made by Zerkoto. Fixed names, he actually wrote code to do that in the exporter, and I felt it would be more useful as a button within Blender instead of in the exporter, just because it would give the user a little bit more control over when the names change and how those names happen because you might especially when you're just dealing with duplicates, because whatever, just because. So the third big thing, and I'm going to make my collision mesh real quick, is that we no longer have to do the rotate -90 on X step before exporting. I finally figured out a good way to get rid of that, because that was driving me crazy and I hated it, and I'm sure everybody else hated it too. But yeah, you can see root lot 0. You can see right here is rotated 90 degrees when it creates, and I counter rotated, and it counter rotates the mesh when you hit create ship, convert to ship, and it counter rotates all of the other meshes when you hit convert ship, and all of the different joints and stuff are all created in local space for the root LOD. So everything is all pre-rotated for you, so you don't have to worry about it ever again. So I'm just going to export this real quick to prove it to you. Boom. Hodor. New HOD. I've been getting a lot of weird stuff going on with my guns when I've been doing this, and hopefully this time, finally, it won't do it when I'm recording, because it seems to not happen when I'm not recording, but it does happen when I'm recording. CPU, Shan, start game. The scout, and I'm going to build a defender just so that I can shoot at the scout with something to prove that the collision was good as well.
Scout complete. Destroy enemy motherships.
There's the scout, and it's rotated correctly and everything. And there's its trail. I'm going to attack the carrier, and the guns are going to work correctly this time. Yay! And that's all good.
Roger, attack withdrawn.
Now, take the defender and attack my new scout. You can see that the collision is working correctly. Boom. The bullets are actually hitting the scout.
Copy that. Attack withdrawn.
I'm going to move the defender closer.
Resource collector awaiting instructions. We have friendly in sight.
Oof. Man, he's still missing a point blank like that? That's terrible. Oh yeah, collision is working the way you would expect it to.
Confirmed. Attack withdrawn.
And that's it. And that is pretty much it for this update. So, as usual, the links to this page, this is the 1.1.2 update of for the Homeworld Remastered Toolkit. There will be a link for this in the description. And, have fun making stuff. And I'm going to stop here. Thank you.